Okay. And I think we are live. Hello, all newcomers, and welcome back, my fellow Eternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP. Today, I am going to be trying something a little bit different. A lot of the time, we will have people who come into the live streams and who are not able to catch them fully or don't get the full gist of what we're doing. So, what I want to do is today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to have the first part of the stream be a video. So I'm going to talk about a particular topic. Today's video is going to be how to micronation, the basics of success. We're going to run down that whole concept with you guys. Then I'm going to do a Q&A so I can get to everybody's comments so we can talk about everything that people want to get into. And then I'm going to post them as two separate videos. So I'm going to have one edited video that's going to be on the basics of success. It's going to have some cool edits with it. It's going to have some cool cuts, some nice music with it. And then we're going to have the Q&A section, which will play some free for profit pink for you guys. We will have some hangouts where we talk about those things, and then we can have the best of both worlds where you guys get a live stream and two edited videos, one of people's interesting questions and one of the actual topic that we covered, so that even if you miss the live stream and you can't hang out with us, you still get the content in a way that's neatly packaged and is nicely done. So first off, hello everybody who has just joined. It is so good to see you all. I want to recognize you all, but I want to first jump into our topic. So if you want to talk, if you want to get your questions answered, please stay to the end, to the Q&A, where we will do that, because I'm excited to hear what everybody's been up to. I've been gone for a good minute. So hang on, we're going to play some music at the end. But for my edit, I want to just have this talking point so that I can go into the video. With that, we're going to start with how to micronation, the basics of success. Okay, so every realist micronation that hopes for independence needs three basic things, but almost no micronation has all three. First one is citizens, the second one is economy, and the third is space. All of these things come together to form the basis of what we call your nation's culture. Now, culture is defined as the customs, art, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. And by that definition, culture is how nations are recognized and valued. So, the largest, oldest, and most powerful nations in the world also have some of the richest and most diverse cultures in the world. And the most famous period in a nation's history are usually regarded by the points of massive boosts in their culture. So, leaving the topic of culture itself for another video, today we want to talk to you about what fuels culture and how you can use those basics to ensure success for your nation. First up is citizens. Citizens are the foundation of any country, and all micronations start off with at least one citizen, you. As the founder of a micronation, you are the first citizen, developing the initial ideas and symbols that will convince others to join you. Think carefully about how you represent yourself as a citizen of your nation, because the better a strategy you have for gaining these citizens, the more people you will have to help organize and support your nation. But gaining citizens is only one half of the equation. You also have to make sure that you can keep the citizens you gain. That being the case, think about why others would want to join you and come up with incentives to help make the citizenship in your nation an opportunity too good to refuse. Next up is economy. Your nation's economy ultimately should be the biggest incentive that people have to join you. Participating in your economy will improve a citizen's quality of life, allowing them to increase the value of their work and pursue monetary support for their own dreams. However, the type of economy that your nation employs will determine a lot about what citizens can do within it, and will determine whether or not they feel like it's a good fit for them. If you want to learn more about this, check out our Micronational Economics series. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description. But last but not least is space. Now, space should be the amount of area that your nation takes up. The type of space that a nation occupies will also tell you a lot about that nation's resources and its abilities. Many micronationalists call this value land, but as I'll cover more in the future, I think that land is a short-sighted term for a number of reasons. But for now, whether you are located on a piece of land in the Nevada desert, a naval platform out at sea, or whether your nation is solely on the internet. The type of space that your nation occupies will be a driving factor in determining its future and creating its culture. Please keep in mind, these goals should not be viewed as a 1, 2, 3 checklist, but as a series of values that should scale along with your nation's growth. As you grow, keep revisiting these ideas and asking yourself, are we where we should be in all this? Are we doing what we need to grow equally in all of these areas? Many times you'll find that the problems your micronation is facing are based specifically on an imbalance in one of these 3 areas. And an imbalance in one of these 3 areas normally means that you are severely dropping either in the amount that your nation can produce or in a lack of viable workforce via your citizenship. And that can severely hurt the culture of your nation. So I hope this video has helped you on your path to nationhood. If you want to learn more, remember to check out our other videos and join us on our Discord, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks. Okay, so I think that was pretty short, pretty sweet. We had about 6 minutes there. That's going to be, I think, great for a video. We have 2 viewers right now. It looks like we're jumping up a little bit, but now we can get into the Q&A. All right, so I appreciate you guys hanging through that. Again, make sure to check that out as a full-length video that we're going to be doing on the channel later on in the future. But, boom, hey, we have 3 viewers now, jumping in all spicy. I appreciate you guys. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to set everything up for us so we can go ahead with that nice free for profit pink, and I can start to talk to you guys. First off, of course, Coldwater Bayou Boys. Hey, it's good to see you. I don't think I've seen your name in the chat before. You new? Micronation Union said, hey, Manu says we're live indeed. Thank you so much. Manu was hanging out. He was waiting for us from the beginning. We said we were going to start streaming, and all of a sudden, Manu was there, ready for us. It took me like an hour to set up the stream and to get everything ready. So thank you so much, Manu, for hanging out with us. That means a lot, and I want to make sure that I get to all of your questions. Aiden says, hello. Grand Duchy of South Florida says, hey, Aeternia, how are you? We're doing great. We have been back from a quite long pause. You know, it's been some trickle out of videos here and there for the past like couple weeks, but we haven't been able to do a big stream, and now we're able to do that. I also want to announce very soon, maybe tomorrow, more than likely Sunday, Micronational Risk Tournament. Hey, I want to do that. I want to do it at some point. Get us a Micronational Risk Tournament going on, because I am super, super hyped to hear about what everybody's been up to, and to get another new champion on our website. If you guys don't know, if you win our Micronational Risk Tournament, this will be the 2nd one ever. You get your name up on our website as the reigning champion. So if you want your micronation to have bragging rights on all others, you can be like, hey, my micronation is on Aeternia's website, defined as the Micronational Risk champion. So that's, I think, a pretty cool incentive. I think it's a way for you guys to be able to sort of connect and to be able to have something to like train up. So if you have like a beef with another micronation, you could be like, nah, take it to the tournament. I'll see you at the tournament. I'll see how good you really are then. And you can also have that as a way to really help define what it is that, hold on, I can't hear music. Can you guys? Yeah, I imagine you guys can hear music. I can't hear any music whatsoever. So I'm gonna see if I'm goofing hard or not. Let me try this. Am I getting anything? Ooh, I know I just jumped hard out of my webcam, so let me fix that right now. Looking gross out here. Okay, hold up. Let me fix that webcam. Come back to me, webcam. Revive me. Bring me from the abyss. Save this stream. And do like no others can. Give us this light. Give us this video. Come on, webcam. Oh, goodness. Okay, hold up. Janky webcam, no more. Janky webcam be gone. Hey, there we go. Okay, awesome. Alright, so I'm about to get to everybody. I again want to make sure that we have this free for profit in that you guys can hear. Can you guys hear it? Do you guys hear what's going on? If so, let me know, because I can't hear absolutely anything. Ooh, okay. So, yeah, I straight up can't hear. I cannot hear. If you guys can, again, please let me know, because I'm tripping trying to figure out why it is that I can't hear this music. So I'm messing with my mic, I'm messing with my headphones, I'm messing with everything I can think to mess with to see if I can get this to actually pop up for me and to play my music in my headphones. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm not trying to like blast y'all's eardrums out too as part of the thing. I can't hear it for anything. I goofed myself. Okay, well if you guys can hear it, that sounds good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat. Hey, we have 8 people. Thank you guys so much for 8 people checking out the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in real quick. We have Reptile Keeper jumping in, long-time viewer of the channel. Thank you so much, Reptile. It means a lot. We have a window capture just straight up open on the stream, closing that out. Grand Duchy of South Florida said 8 p.m. Good to see you. Manu says, but will the VOD stay after the stream? Will what stray after the stream, Manu? I'm confused. Percol said, wow, I'm the first like. Hey, thank you for the first like. Aiden said, if you have Roblox for fun, I will just give my username. Ooh, very cool. I appreciate it. We've played Roblox on the channel before, but I haven't done a ton with it lately. I'd be curious to see how Roblox has changed. It's been like years, so maybe we will have some updates from Roblox. Republic of Aeternia says, hi. Aeternia, it's good to see you. How's your nation? Percol says, hi. Everybody's saying hi. Percol said, OMG. Aiden said, I have a Micronation account called Aeternia. I have a Micronation account called... Ooh, and then they didn't say it. Ooh, I'm very curious. Aeternia says, yeah. Percol says, we have a big economy. It's getting better and bigger. And since lockdown, we only have online stuff. Well, first off, congratulations on the growth of your economy. That's amazing, Percol. And also, there are a lot of benefits to being online. That's why I say, you know, people talking about land as the end-all be-all of the space for a micronation and how a micronation can exist, I think is very short-sighted. There's a ton of stuff on the internet. There's also a ton of other ways that someone may not technically have land, but is still doing a lot within micronationalism. So, and can be very realist in that. So, it is a necessary step, and I think as nations grow and develop, we're gonna see that change a lot more. But for now, many people consider land just the end-all be-all. So I want to try and change that narrative, and I want to talk more about that there are spaces where micronationalism can exist that may not be physical, or if it is physical, may not be by the strictest definition land, you know? Land is certainly a great path to go. If you have land, there are plenty of advantages to that, but don't short sell those who are not acquiring land as of the moment. They may be doing some pretty big stuff as well. Reptile Keeper says QnA. Hey, very cool. Thank you. Kenneth says, I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism, space. That's another thing too. With the advent of rocketry and with space travel, you know, a nation doesn't have to just be defined by the confines of the earth anymore. You know, due to sailing and seasteading and things like that, there are the ability for you to go out to sea and create your own quote-unquote land, which isn't defined as land because it's not a land mass, but should still be considered within the territory of a nation. Same thing with a spaceship. Same thing with colonies on planets, asteroids, all that sort of stuff, or even just free floating in space. Same thing with the internet. The place where you can create a community, I think, is more important than defining it specifically as land. So that's something that I feel like is a huge oversight, and I want to make a whole video about that. I say that a lot, but we're making these videos. We almost just had 10 viewers right there. It jumped up for a second and then jumped back down. If you guys can like the video, it helps a lot because it helps us to keep that that up on YouTube's like algorithm, people get hype about it, and then they'll check it out and be like, oh shit, and they'll jump in. So I appreciate you guys for that. Matthew Hubbard says, how would you promote a micronation to macronational media? That's a great question. Okay, Matthew's asking the big boy questions. It's hard. It's hard because you want to make sure that your micronation, first off, is in the right position to do that. Now, you can just go off and do it. There's no right or wrong way to go about creating your micronation, but in my opinion, I think that a nation should have some background and some standing to what they're trying to actually become before they go and pitch out to a very wide macronational audience. Because if you call up your local radio station, your local television thing, and you say, I'm starting a country, that's viewed either one as a concern a lot of the time, or two as a joke and not taken seriously. But if you have legitimate resources, if you have a strong community and a connection to your local community, and you can show a lot of good that you're doing, you are making it harder and harder to paint a bad narrative for yourself, and you have a lot of counterexamples for that. Because a news outlet wants to get the most hard-hitting, ooh, and all of a sudden the audio jumps in. Ooh, okay, now I got that audio in my headphones. Whoa. It just jumped in on the beat. I don't know why it did, but I'm bouncing on my feet. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate technology just all of a sudden working. But that's a huge question. So, in my opinion, I think that there is a lot of issue when it comes to when a nation is ready to do that, because media outlets just want the hottest hitting story. So if the hottest hitting story is making fun of your nation, they're going to do that. If the hardest hitting story is creating fear around your nation, they're going to do that, and they're going to paint the narrative that gets the most clicks. So if people are excited about your nation, and if there is a lot of benefit and help that your nation is doing, then it gives more and more incentive for them to look into those things. So you want to minimize the controversy in your nation, maximize the amount of help and benefit and good that your nation is doing for your local community, for, you know, different organizations, for different things, especially if you can have partnerships. You know, if you can partner with local community organizations, homeless shelters, you know, things for, you know, potentially your religion, or for things that are staples of your community, you know, a community arts center or something like that, you can really ingratiate yourself as a member of the community and as a part of that. And when people see you as that, it's going to be harder to defame you. It's going to be harder to create a narrative that it talks down to you. So you want to, when you make these big bursts, make sure that they are projecting the right image for you. Because once it goes out, once it is that large mass hit, it's going to be a large defining factor as to how most people view your nation. Because you're going from this little small audience to a huge audience, and it's because of the source that they're getting it from as to how they're going to view you. So if you have all these resources and all these things prepared such that that becomes a really good thing, then you're resonating out a really positive experience for people to come and check you out. But if you can't convince you know, local news station to do that in a positive way, they may, one, just not be interested and may not do the story. But if they do the story, they may be doing it because they're finding a way to kind of poke fun at you, or to, you know, play down what you're doing, or to make worry about what you're doing. So I think ultimately, to answer your question, Matthew, you need to be ready for that, and you need to be able to have a great story to tell yourself before you start trying to tell it to these news media. Kenneth says, I'd love to live 8,000 years or so, but not past that. That's real specific. Why 8,000 years? What do you think is going to happen in 8,000 years, Kenneth? What's the big plan? Percall says, we have a market named Percall Market, place where you can sell or buy goods. All you need is a Percall Market. All you need a Percall Marketplace, but lockdown happened, so only virtual items on the market. That makes sense. Also, 11 viewers. We're blowing up already. I appreciate you guys. Also, 5th anniversary. I don't know if y'all saw that. Fifth year. appreciate y'all. Somebody made this art for us. This is really, really cool. Thank you guys. Manu says, yes, sports as a geopolitical strategy. Ooh, hit me up with that. Percall says, Percall bank accounts. Some mad dude jumping in with just spam. Reptile says, nope, completely immortal. No matter what you do, cannot die. If you pick to live forever, you cannot unpick. I don't know about that. That's interesting. Like, I feel like you could just go to sleep forever, you know? Like, I don't know. Hey. It's a tiff. Sebatat says, hello, I am not home, so I'm watching on mobile. Hey, thank you so much. Still, no matter how you're watching, getting this helps a ton. We have 11 viewers right now, so that means we are about to get 11 hours of watch time for every 1 hour you guys hang out on here. So thank you for helping blow up our watch time. Also, we're almost to 4,000. We're at like 3,040 something as of this video. So you guys helping us to boost that every tens place is a huge goal. We only need a few hundred more before we're at that 4K. So thank you guys. Kenneth says, I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism, space. What? So that's interesting. We talked about kind of the different types of economies you can have. Why is it that you disfavor capitalism? Nothing wrong with that, but I'm curious as to why. I want to learn more about what it means for Kenneth to develop his ideas about capitalism and why it is, or about economies in general, and why it is that you would be developing in that way. You know, what are the benefits? One of the biggest things with socialism that can be a benefit is a safety net. So you're creating like a base structure for people to know that if they enter your society at the top level or at the bottom level, as far as economic value is concerned, they all are covered by a base security net. Whereas in the most strict forms of capitalism, you aren't. Everybody for themselves. Everybody has to get their money and do the things that they have to do to survive. So there can be big differences there. There can be pros for the capitalist side of that and for the libertarian side of that, where you would say, well, but then everybody shrugs on the weight, takes on the weight of bearing that responsibility for the safety net. So there are a lot of different concepts for that and why it is that you would do things that way. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Also, thank you guys to Pink as well. Everybody, please give love to Pink on YouTube. They are providing us with this free-for-profit music. Some mad dude said ad. My bad. Yeah, there was an ad. Manu says, no, red alert, Russia's back. Sabatat says, also something is weird when I try joining from my private account I made. It says my school admins don't let it. Yeah, many schools don't allow YouTube access. That's a whole thing. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, thank you. 9 viewers and 9 likes. Thank you guys. Hey, 10 viewers. Shout out to y'all keeping us up in that double digits. I appreciate y'all. Sabatat says, what admins? I am the admin. Yeah, but if you're on a school network, then the school networks have like superior administration capabilities. You may be able to create your own like interior admin for your computer, but that's different than network admins. You have network admins and then you have your personal computer's admin to log into your account. So you have higher admins. Gotcha. Because you're on a school computer. Kenneth said, time to build Rapture under the sea. And you could. It's possible. That's the whole thing that we're talking about. You know, these are kind of futuristic ideas, but with enough money and with enough power, you don't think Jeff Bezos could build Rapture with all of the money that he has? You don't think Elon Musk, if they dedicated the entire rest of their fortunes to building Rapture, you don't think, you know, Bill Gates could build Rapture? Of course they could. Of course they could. So this is all possible, and it's the concept of how you choose to move forward with those concepts. A lot of these tech giants are moving forward looking at space and seeing that as a large avenue for profit and for the pushing of boundaries for what the human race can be. So it's interesting to see their weight of the pros and cons for that specifically. But the ocean is less explored than space, so you may be looking at some big benefits to exploring the ocean as well with your Rapture society. Manu says we're gonna need giant Imperial samurai robots to defeat the Soviets. like the Soviet Union, because they're collapsed. It's an interesting thing. Hit me up with your Soviet argument. Hit me up. Prakal says, we're the mods of the chat. This is a great question. Mad Dude's asking. Mad Dude's memeing, so he's like, these admins. I am the admin, and I have not kicked anybody, so this is the big question. Also, people are saying I'm very quiet. My apologies. I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit, and I might hold my mic. Let's see if this is a little bit better. Try and hold this mic, see if that helps. I hope the like stream came out alright. I hope it's not too silent when I did my original talking, cause I want to edit it. I want to make sure it sounds good. Some mad dude says my closest ally fell to a communist. Interesting. Who's your ally? Train Father says my micronation is a week old, known as the Commonwealth of Trans-Siberia, a nation dedicated to railroads. And what is your cultural development with railroads? Do you have a railroad in your micronation? How has that developed? Why has that developed? And what is your economic benefit with railroads? Hit me up. Some mad dude said communist invasion. Kenneth Simmons said sounds like a Fallout faction, to be honest. Interesting. What sounds like a Fallout faction? Y'all hit me up. Some mad dude said 10 viewers. Yeah, you know it. Y'all are hyping. I appreciate it. Thank you, mad dude. Also, thank you, guys. We have 8 viewers right now. Still holding on to some pretty big numbers. Fake name said, some mad dude, sorry for your loss. Yeah, it's a whole thing. People's governments and their micronations change all the time. You know, people will decide to join other micronations. People will decide to change their governments. And it has a huge effect on, like, alliances. People jump into alliances, which is something I've always had gripes with. But, again, more talks in future videos. There is this concept that when you start a micronation, you need to jump into an alliance. And you notice I didn't put that into the basics of micronationalism because it's not a necessary thing. You should jump into alliances when you are ready. And we've made a video talking about alliances and the basics. But you need to jump into alliances only when you're ready and only when they're necessary for your nation. Because if you decide to make changes in your nation, what does that do for your alliances? You know, if your micronation changes leaders all of a sudden, are your alliances kept? Does that leader value the same things that you valued in those alliances? If the form of your government changes, are your allies going to accept that? Are they going to be comfortable with that? Does that matter to you? Ultimately, what value can your alliances give you if you cannot be fully secure in your own nation? And so when you are ready to develop alliances, you should feel, and your allies should feel, that that is a stable position for them to be in and can only benefit you both. Never become something that just falls apart. Sabotat says, I'm going to have a public speech for my nation about the fall of Afghanistan, and I will reference you if that's okay with you. I can shout out your YouTube just to reference your nation for giving me the information, if that's fine. Yes, please, I would love that. Thank you, Sabotat. I'm excited to see your review, and I would love to talk about it. I'd love to talk about your opinion. I'd love to see what's going on in Sabotat with the fall of Afghanistan. So please do shout us out. That means a lot. That helps our channel to grow. So thank you so much for recognizing us in that. And I'm excited to see what you put out there. Some mad dude says, rest in peace, Republic of Worrell. Matthew Hubbard says, cheers. Some mad dude says, sorry about the spam, BTW. That's alright. I appreciate you apologizing. We try to have like less spam because it does mess up the chat a little bit, but I appreciate you hanging out, joining, and legitimately participating as well. There's some people who just spam and dip. You're a real one. You're hanging out. You're about these memes, but I can tell you're about this class too. So thanks for being you. Kenneth says, I don't really know, just figured that it'd be a good and long time, but not too long. That's fair. I feel like anybody, we think, you know, oh, I'd love to live forever. If you lived 8,000 years, so much would have changed in your lifetime. Would you want to live past 8,000 years? You may have hit the perfect number. 8,000 years may be long enough for you to realize that living forever is too long. That's interesting. Or maybe you'd hit 8,000 years and go, I wish I would have wished for longer. Like, if only I could keep going with it. Maybe in 8,000 years, you would already, maybe society would just allow you to live forever if you wanted. So that'd be really cool. I'd love to see you live to be 8,000. I believe in you. I think you can do it, Kenneth. Kingdom of Percall said, oops, what I was saying was, you need a Percall bank to buy or sell on Percall Marketplace. That's interesting. How do you set up banks? Because I know if you try and set up a bank like in the U.S., you have to have like there's laws, there's regulations. You have to get like approved by the Federal Trade Commission and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that's involved in creating a bank. So if you are creating a bank and you are legitimately like trying to deal in monetary transactions and like, you know, creation of credit and stuff like that, be really, really careful, because the FTC is just serious about that. You need to go through the proper regulations. For our own currency, you know, we're wanting to start this currency and we're wanting people to be able to use it, but we haven't allowed people to actually use that as a form of monetary value yet. You know, they can purchase our notes to support us and to have a part of Aeternian history, but you can't actually redeem those notes for anything yet, simply because we need to have a money transmitter's license in the state that we live in to make sure that we are following the laws and regulations of the Micronation that we're inside of. So as we continue, we're going to be making progress on that. I'm going to be talking to you guys about that. So every time you buy stuff on our Etsy, every time you help us out on Patreon, every time you support these videos and help to get us toward monetization, you're helping to make that closer and closer to reality. But for the time being, I want to talk about that and how we legitimately go about achieving these goals to get our nations to that point. Also, 12 viewers blowing up. We're hanging out. Y'all are showing up. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for it. Sabotage says, I also passed an amendment getting rid of myself as a king and making me a 6-year term president. Ooh, that's cool. Also 13. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. A 6-year term president. Hold up. So why 6 instead of the average 4? So also, can you have multiple terms, or is the 6 one and done? So if you had 2 terms, would you then be able to serve a total of 12 years? What do you think will be happening in Sabotat in 6 years? Do you feel like 6 years is enough for your reign? Do you feel like, you know, what made you decide? Was it you yourself, or was it your citizens that decided, hey, you know what, a monarchy isn't directly for us anymore. We want to have some sort of more direct representative democracy. We want to have something that allows us to have a choice in our leaders and to elect. Was that something of your kind will, you know, towards your people? Was that something that your people asked for? Is it just a cultural development for you? I'm curious as to what the government changes. Anytime a micronation changes governments, it's a huge deal, but I'm curious as to what Sabotat's reason for it was. The Trained Father says, LOL, it does. I never thought of that. Kenneth Simmons, fair enough. I get you. So Trained Father's talking about Kenneth Simmons, talking about living 8,000 years. That is a long time, and I respect your number. Like, it's a solid number. If you get into, you know, multiple tens of thousands, it is like so long a time that it's hard to fathom. Like, that's getting into like human history levels. Like 12,000 years, 20,000 years, stuff like that. That's like the amount of time that human civilization has existed. You know, they're like multiple periods of human history that have existed within that amount of time. So to think about how quickly technology accelerates at this rate, every year new advances that are changing the world happening, 8,000 years is going to be insane. It's going to be, the world's going to be unrecognizable. Humanity may be unrecognizable. So to think about that from the perspective of someone who would live through all that is incredible. And I think you may be right. 8,000 years would be like a nice cap. Kenneth says, no twisting my words. Ooh. Kenneth says it's a reference to Red Alert. It's a joke. Don't take it so seriously. My bad. Sorry. Again, yeah, the chat is lagging. I wouldn't try to pick on you, Kenneth, about the communist thing. I'm curious. Sabotage says, no, I made this account with my phone and email. Ooh, I respect it. A lot more stuff. I'm continuing to get through it, but please know that chat is delayed. Also, 13 viewers. Give this a like for that 13 viewers. You guys are helping to blow this channel up. Thank you, guys. Empire of Aeternia says, sup, Emperor AP. Sup, Aeternia. I haven't seen you guys on the channel either. Have you changed names? Are you somebody who's been a long-time supporter of the channel? Or is this something new for you? Either way, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're hanging out. And also, now we're at 14. That's because somebody liked. I know it. Somebody hit the like button, and the algorithm said, 13. Let's send them out some more. and somebody said, "Ooh, they got 13. I'm hanging out. I'm joining the party." So thank you guys. Every time you like this, you're blowing us up. Jacob Cook said, "Hey, what's up?" Hey, Jacob, if you don't know, we're Micronations. We are a community of people who are starting countries. And if you're interested in that, if you want to learn more about that, please jump into our Discord where we got a whole bunch of people hanging out. Please follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of that to get the scoop on what we've been doing. I've been creating Micronation content for like 5 years. This is a celebration of our 5th anniversary. Not necessarily today, but this art that was made was a celebration of that. So for us, I've had a ton of videos talking about why micronations exist, what their purposes are, and I recommend and encourage you guys to go and check out our playlist where we had that broken down a little bit better. 17. We're about to hit 20 viewers, you guys. This is absolutely, I think this is more viewers than we've ever had on the channel. Maybe not. Maybe if we hit 20, but I don't know. This is pretty up there. I don't think I've ever seen that number hit 17. This is crazy. Hold up. So somebody's killing this game right now. This is absolutely freaking me out. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And please make sure to check out that other content. Aiden says, "Don't know if someone plays Roblox here, but you know, also 16, still up." Mad Dude says, "Sorry, just heard what you said. My ally was called the Republic of Worrell. Communists invaded and now they're gone. Goodbye, Worrell." Well, are they really gone? Like it flattened their nation? So you're saying a nation was started by a person, right? And then they had some beef with a communist micronation. And then something happened that made them entirely quit micronationalism, that it made them like done. Did it put them in a position where they weren't interested in doing it anymore? You know what I mean? Did they have like an agreement that, okay, if we lose this thing, then we're done? Like one of us, 2 people walk in, 2 nations walk in, 1 nation walks out? Was it something like that? That'd be an interesting contest for like the Risk tournament. We're about to have a big Risk tournament. If there were 2 nations that came in and they're like, whoever loses is gone. That would be like a crazy setup for this. I'd be really curious. Also, Vastus joins us. Hey, thank you so much for joining, Vaz. It's good to see you. 18 viewers. Jumped from 15 to 18 just now. Oh my goodness. Vaz, thank you so much for joining us. You're joining us on a big blow-up stream. Thank you guys. Right now we're in the Q&A. We just talked a ton about the basics of micronationalism and how to succeed in that. So, if you want to see that video, we're actually going to be doing a edited version of that coming up very, very soon, because right now we have the script that was just recorded and just finished on this live stream. So I'm going to be taking that, editing it, and making it a nice video along with this Q&A for you guys. So thank you. Paul says, "How are wars fought in your micronation?" So if you watch our previous videos, we have a video talking about that. It's one of the most famous videos on our channel. We don't support micronational war. The reason being, micronations, in my opinion, realist micronations who consider themselves to be attempting independence and sovereignty in a realistic way, cannot truly enact war on each other. War, by definition, means using, violent arms, using, the attempts to kill other people in order to achieve your goals and aims, to physically dominate others in an attempt to get your own way. And for us, that understanding means that micronations can't truly engage in micronational war. They can't engage in war in any realistic, meaningful way. Now, what a lot of micronations call war is generally like going onto each other's discords or other social media, spamming them, talking bad about them, attempting to hack other people, doing things that are at worst, at least annoying, and at most potentially like illegal. So, and can get you in trouble in the macronation that you're in. So, they cause beefs, they cause feuds within the micronational community, and we prefer just not to focus on them. But that is a great question. If you want to know more about our actual stance on that, go check out the Why War is Stupid, especially micronational war video that we did. And give us your opinions. If you disagree, if you think there are good ways for micronations to wage wars, let me know, but that's against my opinion. As well, we do have an alternative, though. We do, and we started this fairly recently, started hosting micronational Risk tournaments. So if you like the concept of like large battles and large wars and the concept behind that and the fun behind games that are played like that, then you can check out the game Risk, the classic board game where you have armies and you add them to territories and you try and take over the world. That game we play online. You can get it for free for your computer, and you can join in with your nation, and we have a big tournament of nations to determine which nation is the best at Risk, dominates the others, and ends up coming out on top. The winner of that actually ends up getting on our website as the grand champion of our Micronational Risk Tournament. We've had one so far, and we're gearing up for our second one. So if you want to get into a part of that, definitely join us and hang out there. Also hit us up on Discord, where you can like say, hey, I want to be in the next one. Like, keep me involved, keep me in the loop, and we will. Fake Name says, hey, AP, is Parkistopia still an active micronation? That's a great question. I've actually been talking to General Secretary Brizette fairly recently, and I want to tell you all, yes, Parkistopia is coming back, baby. From what I have heard, General Secretary Brizette is starting to build back up some stuff. Apparently, they have some people internal to them. They've started, some sort of council within their nation that has been voting on things, making decisions, writing out a lot of theory as to how their nation is developing, its constitution, its laws. They are doing a lot since their long hiatus. They have been back and better than ever. I think the hiatus was primarily because of General Secretary Brizette's personal life, going to college, developing himself personally. But now he is back with his nation. I don't think they posted anything in a long time on YouTube, but I do know that they are preparing for some big stuff, at least internally. So I want to learn more about this. I will keep you guys updated on that, and hopefully we can even do some collaborative content coming up. So as I learn more, I'll keep you guys updated, but thank you so much for keeping up with Parkistopia and being interested in that. Parkistopia was our first ally and our only ally to date. So it means a huge deal to us to have them as people who are actively participating in watching our content and helping us out. And also, as they develop and as they continue their own things and growing, it teaches us a lot about micronationalism and about how two different nations can grow parallel to each other but in different ways. So I'm excited to see what they do, and I will keep you guys informed as to how they continue to grow. So great question. Per call says, I hated my first ally changed leader. I hated the fact that my first ally changed leaders. Per call, tell me about that. So were they a democracy? Were they a monarchy? What happened? And why was it that they changed leaders? What didn't you like about the new leader? Was the new leader a jerk? Did they, cause problems? Was it just a difference in political opinion? How quickly did they change leadership? Was this like a surprise, like, oh, it was a coup and they got taken over? Or, oh, all of a sudden the person had to step down from micronationalism and step away from it, and so they needed someone to fill their spot? Did you have any time to prepare for that and to get your affairs in order as their ally? Let us know. Train Father says, as of now, Trans-Siberia holds territory in a bedroom right now. But I plan on getting my own place along with building a gigantic railway to attract tourists. That's awesome. Now, I know that Japan deals a lot in the electric maglev trains that they've been developing. In fact, Japan just put in a huge order for like a ton of stuff for maglev trains, like billions of dollars in maglev train equipment. I think they are severely upgrading their infrastructure in that, and so you may be on an interesting track. How do you feel about maglev trains? Do you feel like you like old railway systems better? Do you feel like new railway systems help people? How do you feel about cars versus trains? The U.S. has a ton of cars and highways and things like that, not as much public transportation, transportation infrastructure. So what are the differences there? What are the pros or cons? How do you feel about that? Train Father says, mainly railroad enthusiasts. That's cool, but still, that's a great way to attract tourists. I respect that. Empire of Calradia says, same train father, I hold my bedroom as territory. That's respectable. Even Eternia started out, just in a bedroom, just hanging out. They're just, trying to start something. So I definitely think that there is room to grow there, and I'm excited to see what all you guys do as you continue to develop. Jacob Cook says, hey, Percall, this is my alt account for King Demolition 6. What's up? Ooh, very cool. Train father says, Empire of Aeternia, nice. Aiden asks something. Are you active on Roblox? Yeah, they're talking about that. Aiden was describing Roblox account, saying, hey people, hey, what's up? Some mad dude, hold up. So, some mad dude said, hold up. Aiden says, I hold all the houses my family owns as micronational territory. That's interesting. So are they spread out, or are they all like in the same area? I also feel like there are pros and cons to that. So hit me up on that. That is a cool thing that you can do, and that I feel like is a smart way to advance your territory, because if people are just willing to support your nation, willing to give you their territory as yours, their property as your territory, that is legitimate. That's perfectly fine, and I think it's a great way to help incentivize legitimate growth in your nation. So, if you have people in your life, like family, who are going to support you and who are excited about the things that you do, 100%, those are great people to have an honest and legitimate conversation about what you're trying to do and why you're trying to do it. And it's nice, I think that's a great thing to do. That's awesome, Aiden. Congratulations. Empire of Aeternia says, Emperor AP, how to be a popular micronation. So we're talking about that in the basics, Every micronation is different. Every micronation has a unique history, a unique culture that is their driving factor. A nation's culture, which we talked about in that video I'm going to come out with, it's literally called How to Micronation, the basics of success. So in that, we're describing exactly what you're asking, how to be a popular micronation. For us, that means defining your culture. Your culture is how your nation's known. How your nation is known is what's going to attract citizens, what's going to help you to grow, to promote yourself, and also how effectively and efficiently you are able to manage the internal structure of the nation that you've created. So in all of that, we cover a little bit of that, just touch on it in the basics. If you want to see more about that, and you watch that video and you say, I know all that, I've got it, I need more, keep tuned, because we're going to keep up with some more videos and some more content talking about exactly that. But in the meantime, if you want to learn more about it, hit up our micronational economics series, hit up our series on alliances, hit up our series on just how to micronation. We have like a series on a number of those topics that you can watch and you can give us your opinion on. Some mad dude said, my nation is dead. I'm going to end it or give it up ownership to someone better than me. I'm hoping to create a better nation and learn better from my mistakes, which killed my nation. Hold on. So some mad dude, let me ask you this. Why then just immediately jump into another nation? I created a video a while back, and I encourage you to watch it, called Why You Shouldn't Create a Micronation. And what that's saying is specifically for circumstances like yours. Not saying that people shouldn't create micronations, period, but saying that if you have created a micronation before, or if you're thinking about creating a micronation, even if it's your first time, why immediately go into just starting and just making something? Why not instead of just trying to go out and start one, why don't you join another nation first? Joining another nation that's more popular than yours, that's been around for longer than yours, gives you a lot of experience, and it gives you a lot of connections. It will show you how to try, how to fail, how to learn from mistakes. It will give you experience that you don't want to be doing and having the first time be when you are at the helm of your own nation. If really creating your own nation is what you want to do, that's fine. But you need to have the proper experience in order to make sure that that first time is the only time you need to create it, because otherwise that exact situation that you're in right now will continue to happen. You will have people join, it'll die down, you'll change up your tactics, you'll change up the style of your government over and over and over again, and ultimately you will have a hard time figuring out what your nation actually even is. So instead of running into that same turmoil that literally like 80 or 90% of micronations run into, just start off by joining another one. Running into someone who's probably already had all of those same mistakes and more can show you and put you in positions of leadership to handle those resources and to manage them under a watchful eye and give you the proper skills to succeed, so that if at the end of the day you decide you truly want to create your own micronation and that the micronation that you joined doesn't have the things that you want or need to see in a micronation that you join and are active in, then you can create one. But honestly, even then, most micronations that you look at who have already been created are probably going to have many of the same values that you want to see in a micronation of your own. So I would consider joining another micronation. It's important and it can do you a lot of good. I have Steven jumping in. Hey, I want to read Steven's comment in just a second. I got a few more, but I see him and I'm hyped about it. Thank you, Steven, for joining in. So Calradia says, sup. Aiden says, I'm willing. Sabotat says, in my state, the money is allowed, but no coins. Ooh, that's interesting as well. Same here. Where coins are not, I think you can't mint coins in the U.S. Like, it's a whole thing. Or you can't use them as legal tender, but there may be some changes that are happening with that. Jacob says, nothing much, just watching my fave YouTuber. Who's that? Who's that, Jacob? I imagine it's not me, but if it is me, thank you. That means a lot. I try this pretty regularly, so that's huge, you know. Thank you, sincerely. If it is me, again, I feel like he's gonna be like, no, I'm also watching PewDiePie on like a second screen. Shut up. But if it is me, I work at this a lot. It means a lot. Thank you. Because I've never even had the thought in my mind of like being someone's favorite YouTuber. I don't think I'm honestly that hyped, but if I am your favorite YouTuber, thank you, because I hope that I'm making an impact in some way, and if I'm your favorite, hopefully that means that I'm making a decent impact. So, you know, thank you, and I hope that means something and helps you to grow in your life in a meaningful way, sincerely. I hope that you enjoy the community that we have, and I feel like that's 90% of what I am, is being able to show off awesome stuff like this, which our communities develop for us. So thank you to everyone. Utreya says, I'm checking out your channel. Hey, awesome. To Calradia. That's awesome. Yeah, check out Calradia. Kingdom of Avalon says, hello. Hello, Avalon. How are you? Again, I haven't seen you in the chat before. Hit us up. Tell us what you're up to and why you're here. We're glad to have you. But I'm curious. Are you a different micronation that we may have seen in the past but are new now? Hit us up. Aiden says, I have a Roblox account. Dropped it and said I'm active there. I will hit you up. At some point. Again, I haven't played Roblox in years. Steven said, it's important for perseverance. Steven said, it is important for perseverance to be present in a leader. But when you would suggest it is a good... Steven says, it is important for perseverance to be present in a leader. But what would you suggest is a good time for a leader to abandon a micronation, if at all? That's a great question. So, I feel like it depends on why you are starting a micronation. For your own individual goals, I feel like it needs to be something that is fun for you always. You know, it needs to be something that you enjoy doing first and foremost. If you find yourself not having fun, a lot of people have left the community because they feel like it's toxic. There are a lot of people who will come and, spam your micronation and will spam your different social media accounts and will, just get into arguments with you and cause problems for you. So if you feel like micronationalism becomes such a stress and a headache and a problem and something that keeps you up at night because you're so fearful of it or you're so stressed about it, then you shouldn't do it. It's not worth it. There are so many things that your short life can be filled with that are fun and are exciting that you don't need to start a micronation. You don't need to run a whole government, to feel valued in that sense. So if that's the reason that you're doing it, is is, in piling on the stress and hoping to achieve something out of that, know that most micronations don't succeed, and that you shouldn't do this just because you want to hopefully reach whatever that modicum of success you want is. I certainly hope that we achieve things. I certainly have goals, but at the end of the day, this is fun for me. At the end of the day, seeing everybody in the chat, seeing cool stuff like this. We have multiple packages that people have sent us recently, like back to back to back. I still have some stuff from Steven that I need to open. I still have stuff from Gray I need to open, and I still have stuff from Vaz that I need to open, all of which I want to show you guys on the channel. So that's incredible to me. Touching our community like that is insane. And so in that long ramble, I am trying to say it is not only important for you to love what you're doing and to feel comfortable in it, but it is also important for you to feel like you are actively making progress, whatever that is, So ultimately that leads back to that feeling of fun, but whether you should abandon a micronation depends on whether you feel like you are successful, determining your level of success. If just existing is success for you, then you shouldn't abandon your micronation. If it is fun for you, then you shouldn't abandon your micronation. Perseverance is important, exactly like Steven says. But if perseverance means pushing through stress for no gain, for no joy, for no benefit, for no feeling of success, if you feel like your nation is constantly failing and constantly a problem and constantly under attack and constantly just this worry on your shoulders, then your micronational failure or your micronational lack of success probably doesn't have a ton to do with the resources of your nation or the structure of your nation. It probably has to do with you as the leader. Your outlook on life, your psychology, your ability to handle that stress and those different trying times in a nation. So ultimately, it's about having fun. It comes back to that no matter how you slice it, no matter how you dice it. If you are not having fun with your nation, you shouldn't keep doing it. But if you are, if being successful just means waking up every day and thinking, I'm doing something that I enjoy, why would you ever give it up? It doesn't become a thought in your mind. As long as you are doing good and feeling good, those are my two requirements for success personally. As long as your micronation makes you happy, and as long as you aren't hurting other people in what you're doing. As long as you're not doing anything illegal, as long as you're not doing anything immoral, as long as you are helping yourself to be happy and helping others to find a community, you're doing it for the right reasons. And you shouldn't ever think to abandon your nation. But if you feel it to be a monster that is holding you down and stressing you to the point that it takes that happiness from you, there's no reason for it to exist. Because if you as the single leader or single citizen of your nation feel that stressed and that, hurt by that nation, imagine what that does when you have 10 citizens, 20 citizens, 100 citizens, 200 citizens. At the end of the day, you are both the leader of your nation many times and the testing pool for your citizenship. So if you're not happy, of course your citizens aren't going to be happy. And it's going to make a hard life for them. So that's the best explanation I can give. That was a long ramble. I'm sure in the Q&A video I put out, that's going to be shortened a lot. But have fun. Be happy. Love yourself and love your micronation. But you have to love yourself first. It's like a relationship. People say you have to love yourself before you can be in a relationship. You have to love yourself before you can start a country. Of course, you have hundreds of people potentially that are going to be looking to you and supporting you. There are going to be people who are giving you their time and their money and their effort and their dreams, their beliefs. So you have to find happiness in what you do. You have to feel confident that you are making value for those people, and you have to be able to enjoy it. Those are the criteria as to whether a micronation should continue or dissipate. Fake Name says, I think AP missed my question. Oh well, that's lag for you. Hey, I'm sorry, Fake Name. Let me go up. Hold up. I'll hit you, fake name. Sorry for your loss was the last name. Ooh, sorry. Hey, AP, what do you think of an airsoft war? Airsoft is getting popular. It might be a good way to boost micronational awareness. Airsoft wars, I think, could be fun. I wouldn't call them wars. I have a bit of contention about that simply because of the definition of war being, trying to force your opponents and being specifically something violent and murderous. If airsoft wars are called airsoft wars by those who play airsoft, I guess you can call it that, but I would, in a micronational context, call it something else. An airsoft competition, an airsoft, an airsoft game, something like that shows that it is still an intense and exciting sport, but that ultimately it is a sport. Ultimately it is something that is viewed as not a way to physically force your opponents to give you their things or else. It is a way to show camaraderie, to show improvement of skill, and to show support for micronationalism in a positive way. I think that's the spin on it, is if you call it war, it seems like you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And I think airsoft can be a wonderful way to have a fun sport that encourages people to join your nation, but you should do so in a way that is positive and that is, you should do so in a way that is positively promoting your nation. And so I think calling it a war may not be the right way to go, but airsoft in itself could be awesome. Kingdom, I hope that answered your question, fake name. Pergal said 15 people now. We're on 16. We've been blowing up for a good minute. Celicia said, good evening. Good evening, Celicia. Sabatat said there's 3 possible terms that you are out, and I and many government officials agree that a ruler should work for the people and not a greedy ruler that serves for their life. And finally, our country. Interesting. Talk to me about that. I'm curious. Aiden says, are you active on Roblox? Percal says, yes. Awesome. They're getting on. Very cool. I'm glad you guys are linking up. Sabatat says, was end political greed and that greedy to own a country for your liege? I'm curious. Was end political greed and that's greedy to own a country for your liege? I'm sorry, I don't fully understand. President Kibe says, I got out of my deployment/assignment. That's very cool. Tell me about it. Sabotage says, life. Kingdom of Albion, says, how is everyone? I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Albion? Morphia says, hi, Emperor AP. Just to let you know, this is the second YouTube channel of Kruslavia. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I'd seen the Morphia before. I have seen Kruslavia on Discord. It's cool to make the connection now. I'm glad I know they're one and the same. Kenneth Simmons says, well, I won't live for that long. I'm only human, but my hopeful digital creation will. I believe in you, and I'm excited for it. Jacob says, good. How about you? Some mad dude said, whoops. Kenneth says, I'm thinking of making an AI. Ooh, congratulations. There are a lot of people working hard on that, and I encourage you to become among them. Percal says, my first micronation was made in 2011. I was 3. Hey, that's awesome. That's early micronationalism. I respect it. Ooh. Let's see. Aiden says, Percal lore. Kenneth Simmons says, it's called Project Kakai. Ooh, is that the name of the AI itself? President Kibe says, I actually just got out of satellite training and deployment for Vanguard Militia. Ooh, tell me about that. Also, how does that work? How do you get trained in satellites? Some mad dude said, full comment. A communist nation randomly declared war on Worrell, and after they won, they turned Worrell communist and basically made it a puppet. After that, I just couldn't be allies with Worrell. I understand that. That sucks, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. The idea that, like, if you have a certain political definition for your nation, and then you realize, well, you know, there's this other nation who shows an interest in us, and I want to kind of see what they're up to, and maybe they'll help us to grow and improve and stuff, so I'm going to kind of go that direction. If you then all of a sudden change the identity of your nation really intensely and the politics that they're dealing with, if all of a sudden you change the politics of your nation and the way that it's set up, your allies have no idea what to do. You know, at best case scenario, it'll be a big concern and it'll make it harder for you guys to interact. And at worst, it may just completely destroy that alliance. So I feel like you need to be in a solid, comfortable position where your nation isn't going to change too much in critical details before you choose to start alliances. Even Aeternia, as old as it is, as long as it's been going, as much as it has been doing, we are still very hesitant to start alliances because of the infrastructure involved in maintaining one and making sure that it's a secure agreement for both parties. It's a lot. Fake name says Airsoft. Aiden says Vanguard Militia. Very cool name. Fake name says Risk is pretty cool. Thank you, fake name. I appreciate it. Kenneth says the only creation to ever come out of Blue Rose Isles. Ooh, is that the name of your nation? That's cool. Sabotat says I wish I could have made it. Kingdom of Albion says how did you set up your government and how effective is it? I would recommend you check out our videos. We actually have videos on the creation and development of our government. If you want to check out all those, I would recommend you do. I would say our government is in an interesting position right now. So we had two houses, the House of Treasure and the House of Others. As of right now, the House of Treasure is the only one with an active member in it. So the House of Treasure is run by Master Stephen Vince. He is the House of Treasure master, the top of the house. He, as of right now, has no one below him, but he and I are the only two members of the government right now. Master Grey Mare, who was the master of the House of Others previously, stepped down, and then as well his subordinate, Nathan Coburn, also ended up stepping down from his position. So right now there are two open vacancies in the House of Others, and because of that there are a lot of things that are currently moving and shaking in Aeternia to try and figure out, how are those positions going to be filled? What does that mean for the changes in Aeternia? All next time on Dragon Ball Z. And ultimately, that's the large question, is how does a nation go through these waves and through these cycles to figure out a stable pattern of growth and development? And this is one of the larger hits that our first government, our formation, our initial creation in a government that can sustain itself has endured. So we're learning right now. We're in a developmental process. And I want to come out with videos for you guys about that. But it's hard to make the videos while you're actively learning. So I want to continue to go through this period, absorb all the information I can, and then put that into a way that makes sense and that I can teach you guys from my experience how to improve on for yourselves. So there's a lot to be done there. But that's a great question. I recommend you check out our previous videos on it. We're at 14 viewers, and Tiffany's here. Da-na-na. Doing pretty good. At an hour and 7 minutes. Thank you, guys. Some mad dude said, I didn't want to stop communication with them, but I just can't be friends with communists. That's interesting. So I understand you saying alliances, because if your nation is described and defined one particular way, and then you all of a sudden find out that your ally is a very different political shift all of a sudden, I understand not being able to have the alliance, but saying that you can't be friends with someone who is of a different political opinion than you, I don't know that that's necessarily a good outlook on the world to have, because everybody's going to come from a different background than you, with a different set of beliefs, with a different identity. So it's not a good idea to shun those people from your life because they're different. You should just keep your opinions and talk to them and, figure out what it is that are comfortable boundaries for a friendship like that. But I don't think that requires you to exclude them from your life. Jacob says, yeah, bring Parkastopia back. You know it. We're trying to. President Kibe says, first Vanguard Satellite Squadron Company A, Regiment 1. How's Tiff? I would ask her, but she just stepped out. I think she's doing well. OP says, message retracted. Hey, OP, how are you? OP says, anyway, hi, my whole house is my territory. That's very cool. Hello, OP. Also, thank you for joining us. 16 viewers. That's a lot. Sabotat says, question, what is the official government of Aeternia? Mine is technically a representative democracy. It's a great question. Again, I recommend you check out our videos on it, but we are an absolute monarchy. A lot of monarchies and micronationalism are constitutional monarchies. People who draft a constitution say, I'm a constitutional monarchy. I have a monarch and I have a constitution, constitutional monarchy. We have the Guide of Foundation and Principles, which is the definitions and reasons as to why I created Aeternia, but it is not a constitution. Aeternia is run 100% by me at the end of the day. I make the decisions, I finalize things, so we have a government that is a form of advisement for me and is a way for me to learn more than I could possibly learn, and to get advice and opinions and effort from those who are much smarter than me and much more capable than me in so many different fields, that I am able to make informed decisions about saying the final yes or no to something. Now, that is best for our specific situation, the way that we grow, the way that we operate, but that may not be best for you. So we've talked about different government types as well in another video, and I recommend you check that out. But yes, we are an absolute monarchy. That's a great question. Fake Name says, oh, government. I like government discussion. I'm an Imperial Republic. I don't know about Aeternia, though. I spelt that wrong. Imperial Republic is interesting, kind of like Rome. Again, we are absolute monarchy. I recommend you check out our videos on governments if you like government talk, and also on our government in particular, we have a whole bunch of videos on that. Quite a ways down, and half a year to a year old, I'd say. Scroll down quite a bit and you will find them. OP says, anyways, hi, my whole country is my territory, my whole house is my territory. Manu says, there's a pile of construction stuff and junk. We'll maybe build a treehouse. I encourage you to do so, and I'm excited to see how it looks, Manu. Jacob says, I got 3 different states / territories. Tell me about that. Also, we have a video on territories I recommend you check out, because there are some important things in there about how to go about developing a territory, what we've learned in creating territories. There's a lot, Aeternia tried to develop a territory called the Ministry of New Maryland. I actually have a whole video talking about that. I have several videos talking about it, so I recommend you check that out. But Aeternia, as of right now, only has 2 territories. So I am excited to see what you guys have and why you have it. So, Jacob says, I got 3 different states, territories. President QnA says I have to track space junk and satellite collisions. That's cool. How much have you been able to do so far? Albion says, mine is an absolute monarchy with lower levels of representation as of right now. That's very cool, Albion. You have a very similar setup to a government as we do, and that's exciting to hear about. I'm curious to know how your government changes and grows, because it may affect us and teach us some things. Kibe says, VST, Vanguard Satellite Tracking, and VSC, Vanguard Satellite Communications. Very fancy. Sabotat says, I would agree, join Sabotat just plain, but if you do, just say no, and I can contact you. Interesting. Very cool. I would agree, join Sabotat just plain, but of you do, just say so and I can contact you. Playin'. I'm so curious. Morpheus says, Kruslavia's main industry is entertainment. Mainly, though, it's a new series on the YouTube channel. Congratulations, Kruslavia. Percall says, all my news is uploaded online. Nice. Ella Roach says, now I am becoming sleepy, the destroyer of beds. I appreciate it. Also, nice quote. I like that. Ella Roach, good luck, and I hope you have a nice sleep. Some mad dude says, I'm sorry if that makes you mad. If what makes me mad? I missed what you said. Sabotat says, you are oversimplified, are my favorite YouTube. Oversimplified is a history channel. Yeah, I've heard of Oversimplified. Oversimplified is very cool. Also, I appreciate that I rank with Oversimplified. That's very cool. It means a lot. Hearts, big love. Thank you. It means a lot. I'll try my best to pass them up. We'll figure out some cool stuff on this channel to get #1. Oversimplified's going down. They're too simple. I'm coming for them. I appreciate it. Also, they're very cool. You guys should check out their channel. Oversimplified is a history channel. Very cool. Rich Rack, sorry I'm late. How are you? Hey, Rich, it's good to see you. I'm doing great. How about you? Keep me updated with that Rich Rack news. Fake Name says, AP is the best YouTuber because he is the only active micronational YouTuber. Bold claims. I appreciate it. There are a number of other active micronational YouTubers, but I do try and be consistent on the beat. I try to be as frequent on the beat as I can, and I try to cover a large range of topics. I like to talk about what our micronation is doing specifically. I like to talk about general micronational theory, why you should do things, how you should do things. I also like to talk about our individual projects, saying, hey, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, this is what happened. I like to take you guys along with me for like vlog style videos, and we do these streams so that we can continue to grow our channel and to kind of support each other as a community. So we have like a multifaceted channel approach. I think some people appreciate that. I think some people don't. But either way, I hope that there's kind of something for everybody here if you like micronationalism. Sabotat says, yes, all of my micronational YouTube I used to watch have quit. I'm sorry to hear that. Ooh, our nice, beautiful art fell down. I'm going to fix it real quick, and then we'll go around town and read the news. Read the news from you guys. I'm going to try and make it new, so we're going to get surprised on it. Okay. Back up. It's cool now. Okay. Ella Roach says, fake name Nadris, the only moderate to big YouTuber that does micronational videos, which is active. Ooh, also very specific. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Y'all are boosting my ego, getting that ego all the way up to the top. I appreciate y'all. Sabotat says, yes, all my other micronational YouTubers I used to watch have quit. I get you. It's tough. Jacob says, nah, it's you, bro. You're the best, man. You inspired me to create a micronation and join some. Thank you. Thank you, Jacob. That means a lot. I appreciate you. And I'm excited to see what you do in micronationalism. Everybody has their own story to tell. Everybody has their own direction they're putting in. I'm excited to see yours. Jane Prepper. Ooh, Jane. Hey, that's very cool. Jane, tell us more about you. Jane Prepper is an interesting name. And also, Jane, I don't think I've seen you on the channel before. So it's good to have you. If you don't know, we're Micronational YouTube channel. Sounds like you know that because you're saying you're starting an empire. So I'm going to read your comment. Jane says, I'm starting my own empire too. You and Kevin Ball of Molossia have inspired me. Just starting it is so fun. Thanks so much for the videos. I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Jane Prepper, for watching these videos. Thank you for hanging out with us. And I hope you get something out of it. As you're creating your content and as you're creating the methodology for your nation, please go through and watch all of our videos on how to micronation, on micronational economics, on alliances, on all these different terms that you may have heard, that you may have seen people talk about, but don't know a ton about. And if you have any questions for people, hop in our Discord. There's a ton of people who have started micronations for years who would love to talk to you. And a lot of people are very active, especially if you at people. It helps a lot. So join in the conversation, and I'll see you there. Albion says, I have watched your videos for a while but have not been in the chat before, and I like to see what others are up to in the micronational community and advice from other micronationalists. Well, I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're being more active. That's one of the hardest steps as a micronationalist, and I know that happened to me pretty early on, where all of a sudden I was on YouTube watching these micronations and going on MicroWiki and stuff, and then I went like, hey, is anybody out there? Hey, Reddit, is anybody out there? Hey, Discord, is anybody out there? Twitter, Instagram, is anybody out there? Somebody please hit me back. And I ended up creating the channel and starting to do stuff like years after I created the channel. I created the channel right when we started and then didn't actually do anything with the channel for like 2 years, all because I felt like, oh, well, who am I to start saying things? Who am I to start doing stuff when there are these other people out there? But I couldn't talk to anybody. There weren't like communities that were super active and super engaged. So I'm glad now that, hopefully we've inspired some communities to continue to grow and be active, and also that there is just a larger influx of active communities. So thank you guys for making that happen, and I just hope to be a fun part of that. Jane Prepper says, the burn on Empire. Hey, very cool. Can't see their growth, but I know it's coming like a fire. It's gonna build up from the infrared to visible. Everybody chilling, and we got you, bro. Ooh, I can't wait for it. Ooh, I can't wait for it. Ooh, I think it's great, and I can't wait to shake for it. Ooh, good luck, Jane. We believe in you, and I appreciate you. Some mad dude says, hey, I'm going to watch the stream on Xbox while I draw, so sorry if I don't talk for a bit. You're all good. I'm excited to see what you draw. If you draw any cool micronational stuff, throw it in the Discord. We love to post that stuff on Instagram and Twitter, especially if you made Aeternia art, I would trip. Some mad dude, if you draw, we need artists. We need that propaganda. We need that explanation for people to why they should join our nation, why they should watch the channel. We had Manu on the Discord earlier creating translations of his own written text in Spanish for why people should join Aeternia, why they should watch us. He created propaganda for us in text. If you created some visuals for us, we could create a whole propaganda poster and just throw it in different languages and just post that and just hit up the world on why Aeternia is great. So if you would donate that to us, if you would help us with that, I would flip. It would mean a ton, and I'd be excited to promote your art and to talk about, hey, look at this cool person who's a part of our community and who's helping to make a difference. So, some mad dude, if you ever want to hit us up for any of that, if there's any way we can help you or encourage you to do that, please let us know. Please join our Discord, and please help us to continue getting bigger. Sabotat says, just wondering if I would send you a Sabian flag, would you accept it? Hypothetically, I would accept it. If you send it to our P.O. box, which is in our website, I can actually bring that up and show it to you real quick. Boom. Hey, so you can see right now we're on the YouTube video. The video we're listening to on the show. That's the what? It's the you already know. You already know. It's the pink free for profit. But we're going to the bottom of the page so you could drop it in our P.O. box. That's 56 Hughes Road, P.O. Box 923, Madison, Alabama. If you know it, say yeah. This is eternianempire.wixsite.com/Imperial Market. Link should be in the description of this video anyway, but if you have a hard time finding it, just type in Aeternia, Empire of Aeternia. You should find our Wix site. It's our Wix site, Micronation Empire of Aeternia. You should find it pretty quickly, eternianempire.wixsite.com/Imperial Market. Scroll all the way to the bottom to our Contact Us part, and you will find our P.O. box. If you address anything to that P.O. box, we should get it, although I would encourage you to make the size of your packages small. The smaller you can make the size of your package, the better it'll fit in our P.O. box, because our P.O. box is basically like a little letter box. It can hold like 3 rolled up magazines is like the size of it. It's very small. You know, a small little care package would be plenty to fit in there. Otherwise, they like write my name on a slip and then they hold it in the back, and then they're like kind of fussy about it because they're like, why didn't you just tell people not to send you big ass boxes? So thank you for trying to keep the size down, but we have had some increase in our P.O. box, and I'm excited to show all that off. So thank you guys for helping us to boost that and give us a reason to continue to invest in that P.O. box, because it's kind of expensive. It's like $100-something a year, so that's big for an economy that only has $800. You know, that's a lot, and we invested in it before we even had that. So thank you guys for making that an investment that has more than paid off, and I'm excited to show all that off on the stream. But yes, we would absolutely accept it. I would show it off proudly, and I would love to talk about it. Ooh, ton of people in the stream. Woo, ton of people doing on their thing. What you trying to do? What you trying to ring? Ooh. So, hold up. Sabotat says, just wondering if I would send you a flag. Yep. Paul says, hey, I just saw the video and quite liked the video. Also, do you make money off your Micronation? If so, how do you do that? Yes, great question. Back to the live screen. To the magical live screen where people can see what I do on my computer. Let's go to our Etsy. Imperial. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing all that, I should just be smart and go to our website like you guys can. But if you go to our website, you go to more, you can go to the Imperial Market right here. Boom. That is the marketplace for the Empire of Aeternia. As you can see, we have some different things here which you can click on to take you to our website, to our Etsy, to our Imperial Market. One thing that I need to take down is the Owl's Mark. We no longer sell the Owl's Mark because it was a limited edition run that ran out. So we actually just sold the last Owl's Mark to Vaz, and we sent it out the other day. So thank you so much to Vaz. There are now no more Owl's Mark recipients in the world. Those are now like a closed off thing, and I hope to do more and more with those Owl's Mark recipients as the future of Aeternia grows. So, you know, I want to get them together, have like nice things, you know, thank them, send them stuff every once in a while. Those are the people who are helping us in the initial stages to support our land purchase. If you guys haven't seen, we have a whole thing about our land purchase, but if you go to the Imperial Market, if you click on either of these two first links, you should be able to get in there. The Owl's Mark, I think it's going to tell you we don't have that. Oh, it's sold. Awesome. But you can still, okay, so you can click on any link, it'll take any of those pictures, and then you can get to the Imperial Market. As you see, we have 42 sales. That is a huge way that we help to fund the Empire of Aeternia, is through the sales on the Imperial Market. You can buy our currency, the Imperial Notes. You can buy licenses. Those are citizenship licenses, sovereignty licenses, and foreign dignitary licenses. We've sold at least one of each so far, and I appreciate you guys helping to make that possible for us. So if you guys are interested in having your own license, I actually have mine in my wallet. Let me see if I can grab it to show you guys what it looks like here. Give me just un momento. I carry it in my wallet all the time, actually. Let me unplug this, plug it back in, fix our stuff. Yep. Ooh, it just looks like my face is screaming off screen. So if you guys want to see Furious AP, it's that. Go ahead and screenshot it now, because I'm about to move it off. Make your memes at the moment if that's what you're trying to do. Let me throw this back to the cam setup so I can fix this, and we will get back to business. Okay, there we go. All right, 15 viewers. Thank you guys also. Look at that. Ba-boom. That's me. Empire of Aeternia. You probably can't read it super well, but it says Empire of Aeternia, title Emperor. So citizenship is the Empire of Aeternia, station, Emperor, age, has a whole bunch of information about you, and it helps you to become a part of our prestige system. It's a whole complex thing that we have, which helps to develop our economy and our culture through our nation, and helps to define people's positions within that, whether you're in the government of the Empire of Aeternia, whether you're in the government of another nation, whether you're just someone who's not a citizen of either, just trying to get their foot in the door and talk, become a part of things. There is space for everyone. So that's a little bit about us, and it also shows you how we make money. Hey, you.
It is 1.5, so that means everyone's having a 0.5.
Yo, we're getting
big.
fatty burgers. Yes, I'm excited about it. We're having burgers tonight. Everybody's having a half-pound burger. I will have these sweats like a mess. Let me also go to our Patreon. If you guys didn't know,
We're
we
not
have.
gonna eat it all.
That's true. We're probably gonna dissect it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm probably
Save
cut
some
them
of
in
it.
half.
Yeah.
Probably should have made 4 instead of just 3. So then that way there would have just been like 1 extra, and the others could have been a more normal size.
That's completely fair. I appreciate you, girl. Thank you. We also have a Patreon. If you guys have not seen our Patreon, patreon.com, you can go to the Empire of Aeternia on Patreon. Look that up. Hey, there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the screen where you guys can see what's actually happening. So give me uno momento. There we go. There's all of our stuff. Let me change the window capture. Ba-bop. Uh-oh. Getting our Discord. Let me see. Oh, goodness. Why can't I throw our window capture into the thing that I'm trying to actually capture? Oh, is it because I minimized it? Almost certainly. Also, I don't want to get demonetized from this J. Cole instrumental playlist. I'd hella prefer not to do that. Okay, so let's go from there to our Streamlabs settings and Chrome exe. There we go. Okay, so now our window capture is up, properly placed. There we go. Thank you guys. Also 13 viewers. Thank you guys so much. You're going to make me cry. Patreon.com/the EOA. That's what it is. Patreon.com/the EOA. If you guys hit that up, again, I think the link is in the description of this video. you can join our Patreon. We have a $1 a month tier, $5 a month tier, multiple $5 a month tiers. We have all the way up to the $20 a month tier, each of which has its own perks, its own benefits, and we're going to be adding more to that soon. So if you guys are interested in helping, if you want to become a citizen, or if you just want to help out, $1 doesn't necessarily make you a citizen, only if you want to be one, but it'll immediately give you the Discord perks of a citizen, and it will also give you a lot of assistance with continuing to help us out and continuing to help us reach our land purchase goal. So that's another big way that we have help. We have people at the $20 tier, we have people at the $1 tier, and we have people at the $5 tier right now. So if you guys want to continue to help us out, these $10 and $15 tiers are calling your name. But also, even just one, it helps a ton. You have no idea. So thank you guys so much for helping to make this possible. And those are the two ways right now that the Empire of Aeternia actively makes money. So Paul, I hope that answers your question. Per call says make merch. We do make merch. That's part of the whole thing. We're actually adding new merch very soon. Albion says just decided on flag design, a tricolor of red, gold, and purple. Hey, I see it. I see you just updated your thing. Very cool. Fake name says hee notice me. Yeah, I got you, fake name. Jane says print on demand t-shirts, mugs, etc. can be sold, but really think you should have a fully created nation, website, etc. before you start making money. Agreed. Also, print on demand, I have gripes about because you don't really make a ton of profit. If that's what you want to do, that's fine, but I feel like print on demand, it doesn't allow you to control the quality. It doesn't allow you to control, that's just my personal opinion as a business person, as someone who's, looking at the economic sides of the Empire of Aeternia. Do it yourself. If you can make something yourself and say that it's handmade, that is so much nicer than a print-on-demand store. Something like Etsy, where you can make little arts and crafts. If you can draw, you can sell your hand-drawn art, and just stick it in an envelope and send it to somebody, mail it to them. It's so much nicer. But if you don't want to have to worry about sending things and mailing things and dealing with all that, then yeah, probably print on demand is your best bet, but it costs you so much money in the long term. You lose so much profit because you have to charge people a pretty high amount, and then you may only get like 30-40% of that. So if you charge people $5 for an item, you may get $2 off of that profit. So it's just $2 off of that item. So it's a lot that you have to sell in order to make much money at all. So we opted for a different path. I recommend for most micronations opting for a different path, but that's just me. Real quick, let's keep getting into it. Hey, 14. Thank you guys. Again, y'all are helping to keep the stream growing hard. Sabotat says something funny is most micronations use purple, but only one recognized country has the color, and it's on a parrot. Oh, interesting. What country is that? You're teaching us about some world history. Ella Roach says they banned me before I saw anything. Ooh, who banned you? Who banned you, Ella Roach? Percall says, who banned you? Some mad dude said, who? What, Ella Roach? It's Swalls. Ella Roach says, someone in Whirl, apparently. I recognize the PFP. Ooh. Some mad dude said, hey, Sabotat said, I said it's greedy to own a nation for your life, and Sabotat was made to end political greed. I get you. Makes sense. I don't know. I think I'll own Aeternia for the rest of my life. After that, it'll probably pass on to someone else, whether that be a monarch, another monarch, or whether that be a democratic institution, we'll see. But as of right now, monarch for life. Come at me. And I think that's more about quality control than greed. As of right now, I don't make any money off of this at all. We sell a good amount. I can show you. I'm not trying to flex on the haters or anything, but our land purchase funding right now is at $832, and I think it's actually above that now. I need to update that number, but $832.01 out of $10,000. So we are almost a tenth of the way to our goal, and that accelerates every day. We get more and more support and more help all the time. We've been doing this and starting this land purchase funding goal only a year ago, I think. So this has been a long time coming and a lot of build up. So that $831.01, that is the amount of revenue we have made, which means not including the cost of anything. That means what that number is, which is set aside for the Empire of Aeternia, as we have established it, is just what you guys purchase. So if you pay $11, whatever, for an item on our store, $10 for an item, that whole $10 is put into that money, which means I pay out of my own pocket the costs for the materials. So I'm paying the cost for these materials. I am absorbing that as my, tax from Aeternia, my way of contribution, as a number of other ways. But that's what I do. I'm trying to get our land purchase funding. I feel like that's crucial for our next stage of development and growth. So that's the way that I help out. And everything that you guys do to support us is put directly into that fund, 100%. No profit is taken out. No even cost of materials from making these items and shipping them to you is taken out at all, which is part of the reason why I want to try and make as much profit as I can and minimize our costs as much as possible, because all the costs are just directly taken from me. So that's the way that we've gone so far about it, and it's worked really well. People like this system that we have. It's something that I don't get benefit from directly, but I get benefit from because we are growing quicker and quicker. And, one day I may have my own, my own salary that I make from the Empire of Aeternia that we can figure out. But for the time being, just growing is the most important thing. Sabotat says, I said it was greedy. Fake Name says, AP sounds like a good emperor, an emperor that puts his empire and his people above himself. That means a lot. Thank you, Fake Name. I hope I am, and I hope I become a better one. I'm still learning. There are obviously mistakes I make. I can always do better, but it means a lot that you say so, and I can't wait to keep doing more. Ella Roach says, ashamed to have been the vice president of World leading up to those days. Ooh, that's tea. That's some hella drama. How were you the vice president of World, and also, what made you start your own micronation? Do you feel like having been a part of a micronation has taught you, even if the experience was bad, do you feel like it taught you about what you want out of your own micronation and how to be a leader? Ella Roach says, I have no real power because the server owner refused to give me any. That's interesting as well. But at the same time, fair. A lot of people do want, I personally want, like, direct control over my micronation, so it's even hard for me to give up power. And that's a big, it's a touchy subject for people who run micronations. Some mad dude said, yeah, sad. Albion says, indeed, all of the rulers should work for the people of their realm, no matter what the title they hold or the time they spend in office. Agreed. Percal says, I had the same thing happen. Ooh. Kenneth says, yep, the name of the AI, it's the name of the AI itself and the future basement/workshop complex it will be safely stored and personally raised in. That's cool. Do you think you'll put it in a Tesla bot? Tesla came out with robots. I don't know if you guys know that, but they're like developing robots. Would you put your AI in a Tesla bot? Can you do that? I don't know if that's possible, but if you could, would you hack a Tesla bot? Would you jailbreak it and put your own AI in it? Kingdom of Percal said, I made a new server. Ella Roach said, I believe the real reason Worrell was overthrown was because of Matt's trust problems, or at least the inability to trust those citizens set into power, actually with server power. Interesting. That's, again, I feel like that's such a hard thing to argue for, because in one respect, I completely understand. You should support and assist the people who are assisting you. You should give them the opportunity to grow and advance. At the same time, I think it's hard for a leader of a micronation to give up control because it's their baby. It's the thing that they want so bad, and it may be something that they've put a lot of time and effort into, so it's hard. I think that's a complex situation, but I'd like to see if there was any justification from his side as to why he felt that way. Because on the surface it sounds bad, but I'm curious to know as to the reasoning behind it. There's always two sides to a story. Some dude says, BTW, I didn't go on my Xbox, I stayed here. Makes sense. Would you make any drawings for us? Mad dude, I'd appreciate it big, mad. No rude, it would help a lot to grow us. Whoa, crew, I've been trying to get that blow up. So who you? Ella Roach said, I might start a Twitch to just stream about micronations. That's cool. Pergal says, AP, can you review my website so I can make it better? At some point, yes. Probably not tonight. Ella Roach said, the Twitch AP. I would love to be the Twitch AP. But unfortunately, I don't know enough about Twitch, and I feel like Twitch takes a long time to build up a dedicated audience. Ella Roach says, he really said next on Dragon Ball Z. You know I did. I'm so behind on these comments. Oh my god. Richard said, man, I remember watching DBZ. Such a great show. It is a good show. Ella Roach says, you don't need more. Albion said, hey Tiffany. Ella Roach said, then I watched Dragon Ball. She's not here. That's how far the chat is behind. She was probably in here, and he said it, and then she came back like 7 times, and now I'm just getting to it. Dragon Ball Super 2 times. Watch Dragon Ball 1 time per 2 years or so. Dragon Ball Super 2 times per year. Broly 5 times per year. Interesting. Just waiting on a superhero now. That's pretty cool. Some mad dude said, I don't mind if people have different opinions. I just can't stand commies. I believe the leader was kicked and banned. One of them in the government was destroyed. After that, I stopped communication. Oh, interesting. I agree with the difference of opinion. I don't think that should affect your friendship, though. Ella Roach says, I was kicked or banned and I'm the VP. I can't imagine what Matt's going through. Makes sense. Manu says, Imperial Republic, ... like the U.S. Got him. That's fairly accurate. Sabotat says, I have to do something. Good night. Good night, Sabotat. It was good to have you. Percall says, AP, I may have to go soon. I understand that. I may have to go soon as well. I'm going to try and see if we can't hit 2 hours, but we'll see about it. I appreciate you guys. Ella Roach said, good night, Sabotat. Fake name says, the U.S. used to be an Imperial Republic. It's not anymore. Albion says, we have a charter that holds basic laws and is expanded upon by myself, the Tsar. Fake name says, but mine has me as the emperor. Ella Roach says, I was going to meet with another micronational leader, Andrew Perdomo of Ponturnia. However, I might have to cancel because we have a hurricane headed our way. Ida. I know. I talked about Ida earlier today on the channel. If you guys haven't seen that, you should check it out. Hurricane Ida is about to hit the Gulf Coast. Aeternia has a territory on the Gulf Coast. Like, it's concerning. Everybody who is a part of that, I am from South Louisiana originally, and South Louisiana is supposed to be the worst affected area by this hurricane. So please evacuate if you can. South Texas, South Louisiana, South Mississippi, South Alabama. All of you guys, be very, very careful. We're thinking of you, and we want you to be okay. So please do everything you can to evacuate and keep your family safe. Ella Roach said, he said Ella Roach. You know I did. I got you. Jacob Cook says, the capital of the 3 territories has the most crops, which supplies the most of the army. The capital of the 3 territories. Benefits for joining my army are 50% less taxes and free ration. Ooh, that's cool. What are the free rations? You hitting me up with some Rice Krispie treats or what, bro? President Kibe says, over 22,000 space junk and dead satellites. Yeah, but how much did you personally track, though? Fake name says, I don't think I stated the name of my empire. It's the Imperial Republic of Cosnaria or the Cosnarian Empire. Ooh, that's cool, fake name. That sounds like a real name, but you clearly have a fake name, so I don't know what to believe at this point. Ella Roach says, maybe we should make an oversimplified for Micronation. I would appreciate it. Like big projects to try and imitate his way of making videos like a love letter. Respectable. Ella Roach says for his content and stuff. Levi McMillian says, I'm cartoons best moments, LMAO. Very cool. I appreciate you. It's good to see you, Levi. Also, I'm glad to have you on your personal account jumping in. You should hang out with us on that Discord, Levi. I haven't seen you in a minute. Ella Roach says, or there, I have no clue if it's only one person or a whole team. I bet it's a whole team. It's like a lot of stuff. Ritrax says, I'm doing alright. Might be expanding programs within my Micronation, like verifying the security of micronational websites. Hit us up and let us know how secure our micronational website is. Ella Roach says, I think it's just one person, though. Then they put in a lot. President Kibe says, AP stands for awesome person. Correct? Am I Emperor? It doesn't, but thank you. That's a hard flex. That's a hard blush. Thank you. Albion says, there are many kings and queens who advise me. There's a council of prefects to draft laws, a religious leader who approves the laws for me to review. Respectable. Albion says the Estates General has 3 houses that advise me and breaks deadlocks in the college and council. Ooh, so you have like a very complex system going on. How many people are in this nation for such a complex system? Do you feel like it's effective? Sabotage says, I will join from computer soon. Ooh, doing the great shift. Grand Duchy of South Florida says, hello, the Duke is back to stay. Hello, Duke, it's good to see you. Rich says, you want propaganda? I'll try my best. Hey, thank you, Rich. Please do. Please DM us on Discord or hit up the general. It'd mean a lot. I might not see it, though, if you hit up the general, so either at me if you do it on the general or DM me. It means a lot. Some mad dude says, I'm going to go draw now for you. Oh! Thank you, Mad Dude. Please, again, hit us up in the general with an @ for me, or hit us up in my personal DMs, or, this is the other thing you guys can do, hit us up at eternianempire.gmail.com, thing in our description of our YouTube channel, and maybe even in the description of this video. That means a lot. Thank you, guys. Manu says, AP, I speak English. I speak Spanish. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, it helps. It helps a lot. Manu created a whole thing for us, a whole piece of propaganda for us in Spanish. So thank you. That helps us to reach a whole new audience, like you have no idea. Thank you. I'm excited to post it. Jacob Cook says, I got lots of my army propaganda for you, Emperor AP. Hey, I appreciate it. I'm excited to see it. South Florida says, also, we are the Kingdom of South Florida, but we thought kingdom is overused. We're now the Grand Duchy of South Florida, but still a monarchy. Respectable. Just duchy sounds like just the name of the leader, you know, a duke or something. 15 minutes. Hey. How are you doing? People been asking. Wait. Tiff says she been doing all right. Tiff, have you been having a good night? She said no. Ooh. Guys, I might have to go, but I'll keep it up for another minute or two, because we got them 12 views, because we're about to get like probably 30 watch time hours. This is crazy, and I appreciate it, and I love you. And she's smiling at me, but also shaking her head. Oh, you're cute. I appreciate you. Grand Duchy of South Florida said, also, we're the Kingdom of South Florida. Yep. Levi says, remember, I'm cartoon's best moments. I got you, Levi. Ella Roach says, Grand Duchy of South Florida, I just use Ella Roach as the front for my kingdom, though it's technically just a constituent. Ooh, wait, hold up. So you have a second. This is an inception. Hold up. Ella Roach said, I just use Ella Roach as the front for my kingdom, even though it's technically just a constituent. So you created a whole micronation to be a front for a second micronation? I prefer to say Ella Roach than Kingdom of the United Aeternian Front. Ooh, so second incepted micronation. This is interesting. I haven't heard of this strategy before. This is a whole new movement. He's saying, I created this thing, which is the thing that everybody knows me behind, but really that's a puppet for this other thing that people don't know me fully as, but one day they'll see it creep out of the shadows and come for you. I love it. I appreciate it, Ella Roach. I think that's a cool strat. Grand Duchy of South Florida said true. Ella Roach said 2 people disliked, and I'm sorry that those 2 people suck. Got him. No, I'm joking. I do appreciate you guys that have liked, though. It means a lot. There's some people who just come in to just, you know, hate. It'll just dislike. Like, people who don't watch the video at all, but they just come in and dislike. So, I appreciate you guys who haven't. Richrack says, the algorithm will raise it in the queue. You know it. I appreciate you guys. Richrack says, I liked it, but it has been known that when it's disliked, a video becomes percentage controversial. This raises it up, supposedly. Ooh, that makes sense, too, because if everybody, likes it, right, then it seems like people who only support the channel are watching it, So you may not be like reaching out to a larger audience. But if you have people who are like opinionated on it and some that are disliking it, it probably means you have like new viewers. So YouTube is probably like, oh, people are like talking about this. Like there are opinions about this. So that's cool. That makes a lot of, I never thought about that. I'll have to make more controversial content, I guess. Oh goodness. Ella Roach says, oh yes, we also made IDs for Ella Roach that I have. Ooh, that's cool. I would love to see them. Said I have 400. You have 400 IDs? Can you send me an ID? Like, I appreciate it. South Florida said, chat dead or just silent? Ella Roach said both. I'm still trying to read. I'm still trying to keep up on it. Also, we have 14 viewers. Thank you, guys. If you guys can keep it up for another, like, 10 minutes or so, ooh, this is going to help us out so much in this watch time. You guys have no idea. I want to post what the watch time for this video ends up being, because this is kind of crazy. Fake Name says, if you don't mind me asking, is Tiff your girlfriend or the Empress of Aeternia? Tiff is my girlfriend. She is a big part of helping Aeternia. She doesn't have an official title or even like a citizenship because that's a whole different thing. But Tiffany supports Aeternia because she supports me, and that means the world to me. You guys really have no idea. Tiff means a ton to me. She is my support. In this and in the rest of my life. She's awesome, and I'm lucky to have her. So, no, she's not the Empress, but it's because she helps Aeternia because of me, not because of her own interest in micronationalism. And that itself is like a really selfless act and a really beautiful thing, because she's put like hours into Aeternia. Like, she's put in time, like more time than like some of our most dedicated citizens by far. And she's not a citizen. She doesn't have any title. She doesn't get any benefit from it other than just being an awesome person. Like, if you guys like this channel at all, you have to appreciate Tiffany because she is a big part of it. And, you know, it's incredible. I'm lucky to have her, sincerely. So I hope that answered your question. Grand Duchy of South Florida said, totally didn't make an edit of the Grand Duchy of South Florida. Nobody shall watch it. You have been warned, even though it's public. Interesting. I'm curious. TJ's Topia said, I'm back. Hey, it's good to see you, TJ. Also, 13 views. Appreciate it. We got 9 minutes left at least. So thank you guys for hopping in with us. Jacob Cook said, what's up, Topia? What is it? Apostrophe Topia. Albion says, oh, I'm Sar Severus Inris, by the way. It's good to see you, Sar Severus Imris. How are you? TJ Topia says, I'm Sabat on alt. I'm Sabat. It's good to see you, Sabat. Ella Roche says, nice. Manu says, Nicaragua has a rainbow in their flag. Don't count. Does that count as usage of purple? I feel like it does. Like violet, right? Which is purple. Ella Roach says, I wouldn't count it unless it was prominent. Ooh, but then is the purple parrot actually, like, really prominent, though, on the flag? Dominica has a purple parrot, says Sabat. Sabat says, no, Nicaragua has blue lines, white middle, and a triangle. Oh, interesting. So then who has the rainbow? South Florida says, we're planning to do a forge, but we don't know where to, what to do when we melt the metal. I would recommend you watch our videos on forging. Also, remember, forging is very dangerous, and you shouldn't do it unless you like have experience or are with someone who has experience. You should, whether you're an adult or a child, you know, especially if you're a child, but even adults, you know, you should have a trained person with you if you're just going to mess around with a forge. If someone does not have experience in doing stuff like that, they can severely burn themselves and potentially kill themselves. So please be careful if you're going to mess with molten metals. You need to be careful with that. Does he know when I'm streaming? Oh, I mean, you can tell. I think I told him earlier that I was streaming, but yeah, I'll be out in a minute. 7 minutes, specifically. Am I holding you guys up?
No, literally, the vegetables just literally came out and I laid them down on his plate.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So everyone has veggies,
Okay.
burgers.
Gotcha.
Your dad chose to barbecue too, just like you will.
Hey, very nice. Okay, so, I'm so excited for dinner, you guys. I'm so hyped. This is gonna be good. Grand Duchy of South Florida says we're planning to do a forge. Please be careful with forging. Legitimately dangerous. McCullough, joined in, and they have a cool looking flag. Says hello from the Grand Republic of McCullough. What's up, McCullough? How are you? I haven't seen you on the channel before. Are you new? What got you to join us? I'm interested. South Florida says, so we ain't gonna do nothing unless we get an idea. Fair enough. Sabat says hello. McCullough says, how do I print a sheet of money? Do you have a printer? Do you have printer paper? And do you have a type of currency that you would like to print? Because you need to design your own currency first, right? That'd be the first step. South Florida says with a printer. Ella Roach says, don't forget the paper. Sabat says, LOL. Ella Roach says, world taught me nothing productive because the people were rude, non-serious except for a few, and no one respected me rather than the president and at some mad dude. But still, that taught you something, right? Like, bad experiences are still learning experiences. In fact, they're some of the best learning experiences. If you make mistakes, those are some of the best times to learn. But you don't want to make mistakes that cost you a ton of money or resources or your own reputation in a community. You want to develop under another micronation, so that way you are always at the opportunity to have these mistakes be something that can be corrected and observed by a larger nation. But, you know, if you go through a micronation, you're a part of another micronation, you're like, I didn't like this. This sucked. This isn't the way that I would do this at all. It still taught you a lot. And I think there is something to be said for being a part of a micronation, even if you didn't enjoy it. So I hope that you gained some experience from that. It sounds like you did, at least in the fact of saying, I don't want to be like this. I saw these problems. These are the problems. It taught you to point out those things which before you were a part of that micronation, you may not have been able to know ahead of time would be problems. You may not have been able to point out those things as logical problems for you to run into without having been a part of that nation. So it's good that you've learned about leadership. It's good that you've learned about communication and groupthink and being able to work within a community and develop a community for yourself. Those are huge lessons. Those are some of the most vital lessons in micronationalism, and you learned them because you were able to recognize them as you went through an experience in another micronation. So good for you for having a learning experience. Sincerely, I wish you the best in your future endeavors. McCullough says, how do I design money? You need a design software, whether that's Photoshop, that's something you would pay for. There are things like Canva, which are free. And I would recommend you use as well. So depends on what you have, the software you can get available. Worst comes to worst, you could, go to a website that may have something similar. South Florida says message retracted. TJ Topaz said he taught you what not to be. Exactly, Sabotat. I'm glad you bring that up. I was saying the exact same thing. Percall says I print with paper and laminate it so it's more waterproof. 100%. That's a great way to do it, although that can become expensive, Percall. So if you have a small economy, that works great. And I would love to see how that works. Canada, in fact, does that. But I know the US and other countries, there are a lot of other countries that don't, and it's just because of what you're trying to do with your currency and how you're trying to work it. So that's cool. It's a unique part of your nation's culture. Fake Name says you need to have enough trust to govern, but not too much when you get stabbed like Caesar. Agreed. This is a very difficult thing. And especially in micronationalism, it's hard because you're dealing with such little resources. So if you put things out there too much and someone gets too much control, they could really cause problems for you. So I understand people being more guarded. And I feel like that's why I kind of answered the previous question like I did, or the previous statements about, oh, well, they wouldn't give me any control. And it's like, yeah, but it's their micronation. It's hard to give control over something that is so young and is so fragile. If they want to run it the way that they want to run it, whether you like it or not, if you consider it to be getting run into the ground or whatever, that's their thing. You can disagree and you not like it and go your own way, but ultimately it's what they're going to make of it. So hopefully they're having fun, Ella Roach says, Sabat, true though, I learned from his world's leader, other micronations, Runnymede. The people voted. They wanted to have the Micronation join Lynn's, my org. He said no and became a tyrant. I don't know though. Is he the president though of that? Like, is it like an elected thing? That's interesting. Ella Roach says, guys got some damn vendetta against me. I'm sorry to hear that. I know I personally don't like micronational organizations, so I feel like it's interesting to put myself in that position, because I feel like I would be considered like a tyrant to some degree in that, but I hope not. Like, I hope I wouldn't be like rude or disrespectful or anything. But I'm curious as to what the specific circumstances were. You know, if their own laws that they created, if their own culture that they developed was based around the people's right to choose those things, and they didn't uphold that, then yeah, I get how that makes them a tyrant. That's different. But if they've always had the power to say no, and they just chose to say no at that point, there's kind of a difference there. And I feel like that needs to be respected to some degree. Ella Roach says, guys got some vendetta. McCullough says, us Micronation should unite under one banner, then we'll be humongous. I think that's part of the reason for why people should join micronations rather than create micronations, because there are a ton of created micronations that live and die and get recreated and changed all the time, but there are very few micronations that have a ton of citizens that are all supporting the same cause. So there's something to really pay attention to in what you say there, McCullough. South Florida says, nah, sorry, but nah. Sabotat says, oh. Percall says, okay. South Florida says, I'll stay under my own banner. Percall says, nope. Jacob Cook says, same. Percall says, same. Yep, because everybody in the micronational community wants like their own sovereign. That's a whole thing. Part of Aeternia's citizenship is you cannot be a part of another nation, another micronation, and be a citizen of the Empire of Aeternia, and people have given us like hard flack about that. So I want to talk more about that in the future. That may be like a very soon upcoming video to discuss with you guys, but there are pros and cons to that for sure, and I feel like the micronational community doesn't support it real hard right now, but they definitely should. Support other micronations instead of starting micronations. It's something I've said before, and I'd like to say it again. We have hit the 2-hour mark, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I'm going to run through real quick to see if there are any other crazy things. First off, Jacob said, thanks for the reminder about the hurricane AP. One of my territories will be affected by it with floods. I'm sorry to hear about that. Ella Roach said, AP just explained the UEF so perfectly. I'm curious as to what part. Like, if you could clip it for me and then, like, send me, like, what you think was, like, my explanation of it, I would love to upload that in the FAQ for this, in the Q&A part of this video when I edit it. Cullah said, can I get a chicka-boom? Chicka-boom. Ella Roach says, we'll definitely send an ID. They also have QR codes because if scanned, they will also act as monetary cards like debit cards. That's very cool. I would love to see that. That sounds very complex. Please do send that. I would love to see it. Everybody sent a whole bunch of stuff. Ryan said the forge is where he disposes of the bodies. Oh, goodness. Everybody's putting stuff in. Percall says my cat's on my laptop and currency. Good luck with that. OP says I personally wouldn't use Google Sites or Wix. I prefer just coding my own, but if you don't know how to program, you could go with sites like Wix. Agreed. Ella Roach says it's that he joined another org. Everyone else wanted Runnymede to leave rather than go with that, what the people said. Oh, so he went with a different micronational organization and then just didn't listen to anybody at all and then just left. That's interesting. A lot of drama. Good luck, everybody. That sucks. I'm sorry that your micronations are going through some difficult times right now. I know Aeternia has gone through up and downs, but remember to keep growing, keep loving what you're doing, and to support other micronations. Until next time, peace, everybody. I'm going to hang out for a second because I know it's going to be super laggy. I'm going to hang out for like one more second. Still going to hang out. still gonna hang out for like one more second because I know it's gonna be super laggy. And then when I go back to edit this, there's gonna be like multiple questions that just aren't even considered in the thing. I'll wait till people start saying goodnight, because I'm gonna hang out till everybody sees this, and then I know that the chat's updated. Let's see. Alright. Alright, I think that's probably good. You know, if the lag's that bad, then it's... Hey, there we go. Okay, people are saying goodbye. Hey, everybody have a good night. Alright, peace everybody.